Hello everyone, my name is Vox and I have a PokéMMO update for you guys. Originally I had promised that Chu would be in this video, but things did not work out. We had a lot of homework to do, so it's just going to be me for right now. I do apologize. Chu will be in videos again shortly, especially after the Pokemon X and Y craze dies down a bit, and I do have plenty of ePost 2 videos to post. I'm just kind of getting through the Pokemon Y just campaign for right now. But there is one pretty freaking awesome feature that I'm gonna save for a little bit later, but I'm gonna start with some basic stuff. NPC trainers now actually, it's described as they will become furious at the sight of players and in their rage just, well, be unable to withhold their will to battle. That just means if an NPC spots you, you have to battle them like in the actual game. No problem with that. These are all, for the most part, other than the big news, just things that should have already been in the game, but it's good to know that they're getting it there and polishing it up so they can hopefully add new regions eventually. They added idle NPC animations for most NPCs. They added the functionality to the information tab that tells you what level you caught the Pokemon, where you caught it. It is not retroactive though, so Pokemon you already caught, it will not affect, unfortunately. The name rater is now available in Lavender Town for a fee. Anybody can do it, however, if you're not the original trainer of the Pokemon, you will have a higher fee. The summary linking functionality is there, so you can drag your Pokemon from your the party frame into your chat input frame, and it will link a summary to your Pokemon stats. And then I have a couple weird things, because they word things without necessarily telling you what they are. So it says, outbreaks of swarms have been observed in the wild. Local television stations are now reporting on them. I don't know exactly what this means. I can't imagine that they'd add like horde battles or anything yet, but it is kind of interesting. And then that, what is it? There is also in Lavender Town a psychic seeking to shed light on hidden powers for a fee. So, don't know what those are, but hidden little updates there. They added auto run. So you have to go into your options menu and select enable toggle auto run to toggle it. But if you have it set on, you won't have to hold down the run key anymore. Instead, you just tap it once, and you will keep running. You know, you will have your speed will be at the running speed until you hit it again, whereas previously you have to hold it. You can change that in the options menu under gameplay tab. They added an XP toggling function to the daycare, so you can, when you're putting Pokemon in the daycare, you can actually tell it not to give it XP. So that's pretty cool if you're just wanting to breed and not gain XP. They also made some other changes to daycare I'll talk in a little bit. They added a couple new services to the gift shop, which include name change tickets that you can buy for 1,000 reward points, PC box expansions for 800, and makeover kits for 500. And of course this comes from real life money, and so whether or not you want to put money into the game or not, that's up to you. They made some GUI, graphical user interface changes. There's a whole lot of them actually, and a lot of them are really minor, so I'm not going to go over them all, but they did add an in-game heads-up display, different from the regular Pokemon stuff, obviously, that displays your current money count, current time, the number of steps left in your rappel, the number of steps left in your safari time, and the current map. In-game NPC dialogues will now by default display over NPC heads in a chat bubble format, which is pretty freaking cool, but if you don't like it, you can disable it in the settings under gameplay. Berries can now be added and used from the hotkey bar. I don't know why that wasn't there before. It's now possible to open more than one Pokemon summary menu. That was a big annoyance, to be honest, so that's pretty cool. Little indicator in chat to let you know that the user is your friend. Control right click now opens the summary dialogue in the PC window. What else? Then, like I said, they added a bunch, and so I'm not. Basically, they haven't updated the game since June, so this is like everything that the game should have had. They're putting together all at once, which is kind of cool. It's sad that it took this long, but everybody's busy with school and stuff. The system sound effects and battle sound effects have been split in the volume option, so you can adjust those individually. And there's a search option finally in the Pokédex. Finally. They updated, patched, and fixed tons of moves and abilities and hidden abilities and all that jazz. And they do that every patch. They did tons of random little bug fixes, including one I didn't know about, but apparently eggs with HMs would sometimes be able to use the HMs while they're still an egg. That's a little broken. And then there's what they call a balancing section of the update, which I'm not sure how I feel about, because I feel like it kind of screws over some things about the game, but I'm going to discuss some of them here. In general, they removed all of the NPC trainer-held items. And so, this wording is kind of weird. It literally says, removed all NPC trainer-held items. It says trainer-held, so I don't know if that means that no trainers have items anymore, so they don't have potions or anything. Some people might like that because trainers use potions a lot, but that's how it happened in the actual games. I don't necessarily like that. Or it means that their Pokemon no longer have held items, in which case that's not as big of a change, but I don't really know. And then they made a lot of changes to breeding, and I don't know that I like any of them, to be honest. They updated the egg hatching ability to actually reflect their encounter rates in the overworld? What the fuck? So that means if a Pokemon's really rare to find, it's going to be really hard to hatch. It doesn't make any logical sense whatsoever, and that actually makes me pretty angry. That means it's a rare Pokemon to find in the first place. I mean, I understand why they're doing it. They don't want rare Pokemon being spread around, but it's an MMO. You don't have a choice, I don't think, especially in a Pokemon game. It happens in the single-player Pokemon games with people trading. But basically, if you breed a rare Pokemon, it's going to take forever to hatch, which is stupid. The daycare man will now actually withhold eggs from people who bother him too often looking for eggs. Also, what the fuck? How else are you going to know if you get eggs? When you're breeding a Pokemon, that's what you do, is you go bug him for eggs. That's just ridiculous, and there's no set amount of times you can ask him before he'll withhold your eggs. I can't stand that. Players are now limited to 1 egg per time. I don't actually know what this means. Either they can only have 1 egg at a time, which I doubt is the case, or like, I guess there was a chance you could get multiple eggs at once, and now you can't? I don't know. Egg hatch requirements now require more active play, so I'm guessing that means botting to bike back and forth for hours isn't going to hatch your eggs. I'm kinda okay with that, although that sounds like it'll still make it much more difficult for people who played legit, so that sucks. Daycares now charge $1,000 to remove something which was set to no XP with the new mechanics. That's whatever. Money's money in the game, it's not a big deal. They balanced some moves that affected in PvP and PvE, nothing major, except in the PvE section, Payday will no longer function when you have amulet coins, and it now calculates its payout based on the opponent's level instead of the caster's. The opponent level thing makes sense, however not functioning with amulet coin really kinda sucks. They totally changed the buy and sell prices of basically every item in the game. That's interesting. It looks like they lowered most things. Well, no. They actually raised a lot. It's pretty split between what they raised and what they lowered. It's just a lot of changes. All TMs have their sell prices reduced to $100 for some reason. That's kind of weird. Oh, sell prices. Yeah, okay. So basically all the sell prices from items that you're selling got drastically reduced, so you don't just sell a bunch of crap and make a lot of money. Wild encounter held item rates have actually been drastically decreased for the most part. Some of them have been increased slightly, but the rest have been drastically decreased. And they're really taking money away from players. I think they're trying to figure out an economy and get it balanced. I don't think it'll work, so it really seems like they're being really restrictive. NPC trainer payouts have been globally reduced by 33 to 80% on a per NPC basis. Early game and naturally low payouts have been left unaffected. They enabled money trading between players though, so none of this is like that feels contradictory, but they did finally put that in there. Items can now be sold at any mart. Amulet coins payout rate has been adjusted from 200% to only 120%. God damn. Versus secret payout rates have been adjusted from 200%. There was no reason for it to be 200%, but they actually adjusted it to 50%. So every time you rebattle somebody, you're only getting half the money you got before. That's gonna really, really suck. That was actually a good strategy for getting money just in all Pokemon games. They actually removed monetary rewards from the Elite Four entirely, and then they replaced the overworld nuggets, pearls, big pearls, stardust, and star pieces all with antidotes. So even the items you would have normally gotten in the game, you no longer get. That's kind of stupid, and new players will once again start in poverty. So basically they're just taking money away from all the players, which is kind of weird. And then they have a few other just weird side updates. They increased the animation speed for the catch animation to speed it up. The FPS counter is now disabled by default, because nobody really wants to see that most of the time, especially in a game like PokéMMO, which doesn't exactly take a lot to run. All player money counts have been reduced to $20,000 if they exceed that limit. Also, what the fuck, you're just taking, I mean, that's the biggest sign that shows that they're trying to enforce a stricter economy, because they're literally just taking all the money they can out of it. And then all player item stacks have been reduced to 5 if they exceed 5. Well, not all of them, but like all the high selling items have been reduced to 5 if players have more than 5. Black Belt has been removed from the game entirely at the moment, because it removes held items from trainers or something. I don't know. And then a few bug fixes. Curse no longer misses 100% of the time, and they temporarily removed money loss when you lose in PvE. So that's a benefit for players, so I don't know. Then the big update. The update you've hopefully you're still tuned in to wait for is Mewtwo. Mewtwo has been spotted in the wild. Mewtwo can be found in Cerulean Cave at very low encounter chances. However, Mewtwo is not yours to have, no. Only one Mewtwo may exist in the world at any given time. The current owner of Mewtwo will be whoever catches Mewtwo, well, it'll start a global PvP event, and whoever did catch it will be forced to accept all duel requests. When the owner of Mewtwo is defeated, whoever beat him will receive Mewtwo. Mewtwo comes with a preset build that levels 90 to 100 instead of its normal move pool, and the current owner of Mewtwo may not store it or trade it. If the owner logs off while owning Mewtwo, it is automatically released into the wild, so that the worldwide event can continue. So this is like I discussed in my original legendary proposal video, in that legendaries should be they should be like a global event sort of thing. That way not everybody gets legendaries. I like this. It sounds exciting. It's actually pretty original. It sounds pretty crazy and awesome. I like it a lot. Apparently though, in order to gain access to Cerulean Cave, you have to beat the Elite Four and the champion all over again and do the island stuff again. I am not doing that. No. So there you go, guys. There's the huge update to PokéMMO. First update since June. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry, no Chu. Hope you stay in tune for the Pokemon X and Y series. And as always, I will see you next time. Bye-bye.